So welcome everyone to July's Regeneration Team Support Call. My name is Randy Fritz, and I have the pleasure of introducing some very fine people tonight from Alberta, Saskatchewan, Barb Rowe, Alberta, Jim Pendry, and Diana also, Diana Walker from BC, and Trudy Stolting from Nova Scotia, is it? And,
yes, it is.
And Ann Humble from Regina, Saskatchewan. So welcome, everyone. I should
and
say
I'm
that
from BC, Randy, not Alberta.
That's
fine.
I've known all these wonderful people for 20 years. I've been eating Sunrider for 30 years. I feel better than I did the day I started 30 years ago, about 30 years ago. And I think most of these people would say the same thing.
Yeah.
So we're really excited tonight because there was recently the convention in Hawaii, and so we'll be talking about that. But all our calls, we tend to talk about why Sunrider is better, why the products are better, why the company is better, and why the business is better. And we can just really feel confident if we're eating these foods that we are getting the best thing possible for our bodies. And if you want to go ahead and share that with others, you can feel confident about that. So normally, when we're just in LA, we often, there's a tour of the manufacturing processes, and they couldn't do that because the convention was in Hawaii, and I'm sure everyone was really, really sad about that. They had to sort of deal with the tropical, lush Hawaii Islands instead of the city of industry. But
yeah, it was really tough.
But we're gonna talk about that anyway because it's so important, and we think it's part of the convention knowledge that everyone needs to be really clear about. So for that, it's going to be Diana and Trudy. Take it away.
Oh, thank you, Randy. I did a lot of research on this because I had taken a lot of notes in 2009 at Sunrider Convention, and it was very specific by Dr. Chan telling us that the Sunrider products, the Sunrider foods, are not fumigated, and he explained how that is a poisonous gas that removes insects, bacteria, and mold, and that Sunrider foods are not radiated. Now, radiating them kills everything, and Dr. Chan even says it changes the taste. It's unsafe, and it changes the chemical composition of herbs, making the herbs lose their function. So when you know this, and you know that Sunrider products are so safe and are created this way, it really makes me wonder how people get any benefits from so many of the ones, even in the health food stores or in many other companies, because they are required in most cases to fumigate and irradiate because they don't have the processes that Dr. Chen has in place. So we are really fortunate. So Trudy, did you want to talk about this screen?
Sure, I will. I think that we're really blessed to have Dr. Chen in charge of our products. But before I really get into this, I just want to tell you what happened. The first time I ever went to the convention and toured the manufacturing, it blew me away. The quality of the products, the concentration of the products, like every single part of it was amazing. We had to dress up just like we were going into an OR room with booties on our feet and a face mask and a hat over our hair and a lab coat to cover our clothing to keep it clean and pure. And we walked for it seemed like hours, and it really was a couple hours. And at the end of the time, I took my cloth booties off, and they were absolutely clean. What we have with Sunrider is a pharmaceutical-grade manufacturing. It is really, really amazing. The foods are really concentrated. It takes up sometimes 30 to 40 pounds of herbs to make 1 pound of the finished product. And I think Jim's going to talk a little bit about some of the products that have come out from that have that level of concentration in them. Absolutely proven benefits. It's amazing. There's no heavy metals in the foods, and that's really difficult because with acid rain around the world, even if you're growing things organically, there is heavy metals coming down in the rain. And Dr. Chen has developed a system or a method of using 3 layers of extractions and filtrations to get rid of the heavy metals. Very, very important. Just to keep the purity of the foods, the herbs, they're sterilizing of them. In 2009, Dr. Chen developed a new sterilization process that's able to eliminate toxicity in the plants and irradiate bacteria, insects, and mold. Other companies out there, and I'm not kidding, they must fumigate the herbs. They're required to by law because they're not cleaned, and they don't have this process that we have. So they're fumigating or radiating the herbs. Sunrider does not do this because the herbs are already cleaned at our overseas plant. So I just love the vision that Dr. Chen has put into this for the quality, the purity, and the self-manufacturing of it. It is amazing when you think of that.
I know, and you and I both, every Sunrider that goes to convention and gets to go through the manufacturing plant, which all of us have done usually once a year for many, 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 many years, can see it's so spotlessly clean, like you were saying, Trudy. When we come out, our little booties are just as clean as when we went in, and the air and the water are filtered countless times. And we just have there's some pictures on the screen right now of showing us in our surgical outfits, basically, because that is what we wear as we go through. And Sunrider self-manufactures. And the other thing I was really impressed with was that there are only food-grade, biodegradable lubricants and paints that are used throughout for the machinery and the equipment. And Dr. Teifu Chen actually developed he uses a Super Clean, the Sunrider Super Clean, and the Sunrider Fruit and Veggie Rinse for cleansing and cleaning the equipment, so you don't get any chemicals in there either. And the Chans only make products that they and their family will use. So we are always all so reassured of how amazing and how safe everything is.
And every year that we go back to convention, it gets better and better. And it's exciting because it expands the manufacturing. There's now 2 million square feet of manufacturing. When you think of what other companies have out there, they hire out to the lowest bidder. They don't have their own manufacturing plants. They may have the formula, but then they put it out for bids, and who knows what kind of quality is going to go into it. They've not invested. They don't have their manufacturing, so they haven't made that long-term commitment to invest into it. And they outsource or hire staff to create their products. We don't. It's in-house. It's amazing. Dr. Chen's a genius.
All right. And I think you had a story about this.
I have a little story about this. A number of years ago, I attended a convention in LA with one of my clients and her husband, and she was the person who ate the products, and he came along for the ride, so to speak. And he happened to be a pharmacist. And he, in his capacity as a pharmacist, had been working on a team this team went around and inspected pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities. So as he was going around on this tour with us, I noticed that he was always right at the front of our group, taking in every little piece of information. And I just kind of sat back and watched him as we were going around on this tour. And then we went into the sunbar room, and he came back out of the sunbar room quite excited, and he just whispered to me, he said, you know, the level of sanitation and the level of security in that room, this is the sunbar room, this is our snack bar, people. He said, the level of sanitation in that room is what a pharmaceutical company has or manufacturing facility has to maintain for production of injectable drugs.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Right.
Thanks for sharing that, Anne. I hadn't heard that story before.
Right. It was he was pretty blown away by this whole process.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a little eye opener for me as well.
So at the very, very, very least, we're safe, and but we know it's a lot more than that. It's the highest quality foods in the world.
Yeah.
And now we're going to hear, I think, a little bit of some Sunrider convention news, maybe from Barb. Maybe you'll tell us who are these strange people in the pictures.
You know what I love about Sunrider is the people. It's just always so fun and exciting to go to convention and to be with the Sunriders from all around the world, and that just seems to make the convention go so much more, have more fun. And so I'm just going to tell a little story that I sort of didn't want to go to Hawaii this year because I thought, June, beautiful here. I just didn't want to go. But boy, am I ever glad that I did go, because it was just such an amazing convention. It was very, it was smaller and everybody interacted, and it was just really a close-knit family. And I, of course, always enjoy Dr. Chen speaking. And so, we always get to do other things besides just Sunrider. We went shopping, and, we walked along the beach with our bare feet in the ocean and just did a lot of relaxing. I was just totally relaxed. So, nice to be able to do those things and get paid for a wonderful holiday.
All right. Yeah. So Jim now, he's the...
Can I mention, Barb, that Barb is in between two men with lays on and their chests?
I noticed that too. Those big beefy guys.
Yeah.
And Barb's smiling. You see that
I really
smile?
was in Hawaii. I wanted to make sure everybody knew that. It really was there.
That's great.
Okay, so now we have Jim talking about a little bit of the product information that he learned at the convention.
Okay, well, I'll start by adding to what Trudy and Diana were saying, that a lot of people don't know the scope of how badly our foods are beaten up. And so, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago when it was announced that all almonds from now on will be irradiated coming into Canada?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of our foods that are, like that's nuclear waste that they use to irradiate foods. It kills all the enzymes in them to make them last longer and kills bugs and things. But that's what's happened to a lot of our food. And at the convention, Chin or Ruben, one of the two, announced that in the U.S. from now on, they weren't sure about other countries, but it'll be right on their label also that there's no GMO. So there's no genetic foods in any Sunrider product as well. So we really do have a great quality. So at lunch the one day, Barb and we had a chance to sit down with the Chins, and Diane Harriet was there and a few other people from the U.S. And I sat right beside Dr. Chin, so that was great. So I had a chance to ask a few questions, and one of the questions I asked him was about, I was trying to figure out the fat management program, because we've got our MetaShaper and our MetaBooster, and they go into how high in antioxidants they are, and how Suntrim Plus, tightens digestion and whatnot. But there's really never been anything said about increasing metabolism. So I was just trying to figure this out. So I kept kind of coming back and asking him more. And so finally he said, well, MetaBooster and MetaShaper, the primary purpose is to repair the body from damage. And MetaBooster is specifically designed for that, to repair the body from free radical damage. That's why We've heard in the past, Dr. Van Beveren one time at a convention was talking about damage from radio waves, from cell phones and the blood-brain barrier, and at that point it was way over my head. But Meta Booster is very good at repairing things like that, but we also find it's good for overall increasing your energy, detoxifying, increasing circulation, immune system, so many things. It is such a good product, but they try to keep it simple. And the Meta Shaper as well, it blocks cortisol, which is a hormone that creates inflammation. But again, it's really designed for repair. So I was like, well, which one increases metabolism then? And he says, well, the Sun-Trim Plus does a little bit, he said. And the Sun-Trim Plus, of course, it balances blood sugars. And when your blood sugars are balanced, you tend not to want to eat as much. And it makes your body more efficient at using the food that you're eating as energy. So your body's burning it off instead of storing it as fat. And then it slightly tightens the stomach so you don't want to eat as much food. And he says, and it slightly increases metabolism. And I said, well, what do we have that increases metabolism? And he just looked at me and he said, well, that's not really the direction we're going in. And I thought about that, and I thought about that, and about an hour later it hit me. I was like, oh, he's talking about the fitness brigade. They're trying to get everybody working out because there's nothing better than exercise to increase your metabolism. That's why they're
Great
pushing
idea.
it so hard. So we've got the perfect products to go for repair and to help you eat less, and then we got this fabulous fitness program, which really is fabulous. So I think that's all I have to mention about that. Did you want me to mention the thing about the hotels right now or later?
Sure. You can mention that, yeah.
Well, for the
Go
last
ahead,
few
Jim.
years, Dr. Chin's been buying hotels. I don't know, he's got either 3 or 4 in Asia. These are big fancy hotels. And then he just bought another one in London for $300 million and another one in Beverly Hills for $200 million. And some people think that, oh, well, Chin's taking all our Sunrider money and buying hotels with it. But that's far from the truth. Chin is a phenomenal businessman. And he has made millions, actually billions, from his different enterprises. And he subsidizes Sunrider with that. So we have a facility, our main facility in Los Angeles in the City of Industry is on 40 acres. It's just prime real estate, but he bought that facility and he put it right there. So he has made some very smart decisions in real estate. And his idea of the hotels, just like the Chinese History Museum in the Sunrider facility, is to let people know we're here to stay. We are a solid company. So now the Sunrider hotels, people that go in there, they get their little samples of Fortune Delight and Cali and shampoo and conditioner and liquid soap and all that. Like, Chin is building an absolute empire. And he talked a lot about his dreams when he was younger. And we'll finish off the call tonight talking a little bit about his story about dreams. But I just wanted to let you know that, like, Sunrider is such a solid company. And the way he creates his manufacturing is, again, it's to be the best, to never, ever, ever have to apologize for being inferior.
Great. So people aren't paying for the hotels. That's actually the other way around. The products, we're getting this quality of products, and we're getting them for the low price because of Chin's other ventures.
That's right.
Randy, it's Tricia. I just want to throw in at this moment. Jim, did you hear Chen say that 6 years ago he bought a piece of property for $200 million and it's now worth $1.2 billion?
Well, he's going to build a hotel on it and sell it for $1.2 billion.
Oh, I thought he said it was now the land was now worth $1.2 billion.
No, he's gonna put a hotel and sell it, and that's what it'll sell for.
Oh, all righty, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a smart businessman. We're talking billions.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
So Jim has been talking about weight loss and SunFit. So Barb, this is your section of the thing because you're our SunFit expert, kind of.
Well, you know,
At least enthusiast.
You know what? It was great, of course, at the convention in Hawaii to get out with everybody, all the avid workout people, and do a workout. We did it. There was 3 different workouts, and it was just really fun to see all the different ages. There was J.W. Emerson and Lois. I met them. They were going out for their walk, and then next thing I do, I see Lois in the fitness room working out with everybody, up there with Mrs. Chen working out, and so I guess it was just really made me feel like, okay, I really am on the right track, because I am just so 100% sold on the fitness program. It has just literally changed my life, and anybody that has embraced it and done it consistently, it
really works.
It does. It's amazing. And so what Ruben is coming out with, the first morning they did a yoga workout. So they called it a yoga dance. I didn't go to that because I got in really late that night, so I didn't go to that one. But he's working at maybe bringing out a workout that is kind of more geared towards the yoga stretches and people that maybe do yoga and figure that the fitness brigade is a little bit too intense. So this will be really great for those kind of people that are just a little more, want a little bit, stretching and things like that. The next day we did what he called the family workout. And so that was done with pairs. So that was kind of neat too, because it encourages you to find yourself a partner, whether it be your neighbor or whoever, somebody that will join you and do the workout with you. So that was a really great
good
little workout.
It was.
Yeah, and then the next day we just did the regular fitness workout. Just wanted to say that the lady that won the fitness challenge, she was there, and she told me that she lost all her weight in inches, and she's lost since December again. But she did it all with modified workout. And that's exactly what I've been doing, is modified workout. I now have lost 23.5 inches and 13 pounds. So I just encourage everybody on this call to, jump in, do it, and just feel the difference. Like it works so hand in hand with the nutrition of the foods that it's just a powerful, powerful tool. And for building your business, it's just incredible.
Now, Barb, just for maybe the people who don't know, if you could describe that couple, J.W. and Lois.
J.W. and Lois Emerson. Ages? Yeah, I think they're about 90 or getting close to 90, and they're just, if you go on YouTube, you can hear J.W. does some incredible little YouTube clips and teaching about acid alkaline, about the Sunrider foods, and he's been one of my mentors. He's just so clear on the ability for the body to heal itself if you give it the right foods. They have ate a plant-based diet for probably the last 40 years, and it was just nice, out walking and feeling like fantastic. They're slim, they're trim, they look great, and have loads of energy. So it was just really nice to see them there and catch up with them again.
Yeah, we can all be like that at age 90. That hopefully.
Absolutely.
Okay,
and I think
Barb.
it's important. I think it's important to know that Lois was very sick before years and years and years ago, like 25, 30 years ago, and JW weighed a lot more than that, and so they worked at it, and they're a really good example of everything that Sunrider stands for.
That's great. That's a great point, because you assume they're healthy types.
Yeah.
Okay, Barb, you're going to tell us how inspired you are about Sunrider and the business.
Well, the business has always motivated me. And I just want to maybe say one little thing to people on the call that maybe, are not real clear on sharing Sunrider with others. And I guess I can just take you back 26 years ago when I was a very burnt out, worn out mom. We were on the verge of losing our home. We were driving an old beat up car that we could not even leave town because we weren't sure it would get us to where we wanted to go with our family. Had 4 children, and it was a really crisis in our life at that time. So for anybody that has a little bit of a hang up about making money, just think of somebody like me. If my upline had not shared that opportunity with me, I would not be here today. I would not be on this call. I would not be enjoying the health and the vitality that I am. I would not be living in my country home. So, a lot of people, they have their own home. They might drive a nice car. Their husband might have a good job. They might, he might own his own business. You might have a good income, good work, and good pension and all these things. But I can tell you there is a huge percentage of people, families, and people that are struggling right now. And we've seen it in Lloydminster here with the economy when the oil prices crashed. There's people that are walking away from their homes. There's dads that have lost their jobs, moms that are working 2 jobs to try to make ends meet. Like, it is a crisis, and it's really important that each and every one of us think about somebody that doesn't have what we have and share the opportunity. Don't be afraid to share the opportunity with them, because that is just as important. I mean, we have the most amazing foods, and if you can help people make that extra $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month, they're going to be able to eat the foods, enjoy a lifestyle that they would have never dreamed of.
And have a free trip to Hawaii.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just, like, my Sunrider lifestyle has been just incredible. And it's not like it's a freebie, because I work. I do work at my business. So it's not like I'm getting all these things for free. But I can tell you it is something that everybody needs. Everybody needs the foods. Everybody needs the opportunity to be able to make just a little extra or a complete, paycheck and live on their paycheck. Everybody needs that. So don't be afraid to share the income opportunity. That is very, very important. And I'm speaking from the heart.
Thank you very much for that, Barb.
Yeah, no,
and
I
just think those are your toes, aren't they? That's your
my
toes, aren't they, Barb?
I was enjoying. Every morning I would sit out on the deck and relax and listen to the birds, and it was just beautiful and green and flowers blooming, and it was wonderful.
And your business was kept on going.
And my business kept on going. Yep.
Right. And so here you are again, enjoying the outside. I think Jim has a few words to say about this.
Well, we'd been there before, so we, Barb and Diane, Harriet, and myself, we walked and we found this area where we'd been before. There's a big Buddha statue and a few things around there. It's just a beautiful spot. And so I said to Diane and Barb, we have to get photos taken with our arms out. Then we could say, this could have been you beside me. So Trudy and Diana, you could have been on one side and on the other side, right there.
I know, we should have been.
So yeah, it was a great convention. It's just so beautiful. I'd forgot how beautiful Hawaii had been. It's been about a decade since I've been there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I really, really would like to see is all of my people there, because when you have your downline there, it's just so much more fun just to have those people with you and enjoying the same thing as you're enjoying. So put that out to all my downline. Next time, we all be there.
Absolutely.
All right.
So I'm going to say a little bit about something else that Chin talked about a lot, and he talked a lot about dreams. And he took us back about 35, 40 years ago when he first came to Canada, and he was working 3 jobs, and one of them was a night shift at 7-Eleven where he was the night manager, and he kind of laughed about it because he said he was the manager because he was the only one there. And the other thing his manager told him is that if somebody comes in with a gun, run. And it's amazing that we have this guy who's a billionaire who 35 years ago or so, he was working a night shift at 7-Eleven.
Wow.
He talked a lot about dreams and never ever giving up on your dreams. And he told us this story. And he said there was a street person, living on the street in rags, and a fairy came down and said, "We've decided to grant you 3 wishes." And so he thought long about it. Actually took him a few hours. And so his first wish was to have lots and lots of money and never have to worry about money again. So boom, he had lots and lots of money. And the second wish, Barb, do you remember what his second wish was?
I don't remember, Jim.
I think it was family and friends and lots of people around him who loved him. I think that was the second. And the third, he decided, was to never have to work again. And as soon as he said that, he went right back into rags and was a peasant. And he's like, "What the heck? What's going on? Why did you take it all away from me?" And he said, "Because you can't have any of these good things if you never want to work in life."
That was good.
This is a really good way of understanding how the Chinese people think. They believe if you work hard, good things will happen. And that's why they work really hard. And Chin says, at 67, that's why I'm working so hard, because I'm afraid I'm going to lose it if I don't keep working. And he's building an empire, something that'll last for, generations. And so his idea, for those of us leaders who have earned leadership in Sunrider before, leadership is lower than it used to be, but he believes in volume, and he believes that Sunrider will just keep on growing and growing and growing, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to make it grow. They're coming out with, they plan on having a video or a presentation on every product we have.
Wow.
Wow, that would be great.
I asked him about the Venom Cream and some other products that he's working on, and he says, well, we won't be bringing out anything else until we've done a really good job of educating everybody on what we have.
Mm-hmm.
He said that when we brought out Sun Trim Plus, we didn't educate people on this product enough, and it just become another product that people used, and some people didn't use it, and some people tried it and they didn't like it. He says, but it's really a breakthrough product that everybody could benefit from.
That's a good point. That's a good idea.
Now, Jim, could you comment on the New Plus Vita Shake situation? Speaking of volume.
I spoke to Angelo again today just to be crystal clear on this, and about a month ago, they finally got final approval for the Vita Shake. And now they're just negotiating the label, and it looks like the label will say for people 14 years and older, it will be 2 a day, and for 14 and under, it'll be 1 a day. So they've come to an agreement on what the label will say because of the vitamin K. And vitamin K is supposedly a blood thickener, but it's in a lot of foods, and it's a very small, tiny amount that's in there. But the Health Canada feels they have to get in there and make a big deal out of it. But a lot of us are getting numb to that whole thing. But soon we'll have it. So he said we should have it in the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's exciting.
No, sorry. He said 6 weeks to 2 months. He said we should have it, like almost guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. So by 2 months, we should have it. So that's very exciting.
We'll keep you updated every call we do, right?
Yes.
And then New Plus should be shortly behind that, because it was the koi fruit, the koi seed issue, and now that is complete, it's really the same ingredients as New Plus. So we're hoping it should be short to follow, but there's no estimation on how long that should take. It could be 3 or 4 months. It could be 6 months. I don't know.
Okay.
But
sounds like good news, though. Sounds good. Very positive. Yeah.
Very positive.
Yeah. And I heard, or I saw on Facebook that that Sunrider will start using stevia in the Vita Shake. So that's good.
Well, we each received a sample, and it had a little bit of stevia in it, and it was slightly sweeter than the old one. And it would, if it does come out, it'll be sold as a separate product. It won't be just here's the new Vita Shake.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So for me, I don't just barely tell the difference that it was sweeter.
Okay. Yeah, because I wouldn't want it any sweeter, I don't think. Most people wouldn't want it any sweeter than it is, the strawberry and the chocolate, but you never know. But that's interesting that they're going to have it as a separate product.
Well, there's a lot of companies that make their shakes, and frankly, to be honest, they taste like a cake mix. They're so sweet, and it's just like, who buys this? And then they say, well, that's what the majority of Americans want. So I can see why they're making a sweeter one to compete with people who really, really need it sweet. But for most of us health nuts, we don't want it sweet.
Okay, right.
And I want to be able to add my own stevia to it so I can make it the way I want it.
That's right. I prefer that. Yeah, I prefer that.
But they have an angle to it. So.
Okay. Great.
Okay, well, is there any sort of final comments?
Can I just tell you one thing that Dr. Chen said, which I really, really enjoyed? He said, life is like a buffet. No one will serve you. You must get up and take what you want. It's up to you.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah. And everybody wants what Sunrider has.
We've reached the half-hour mark. I think, let's see. Oh, we're 5 minutes over, sorry. And so we're going to officially close down the call. If people have any questions, we'll stay on and we'll answer them. And you can do that through the chat session, or if you're on the phone, you can unmute yourself and talk to us. But we really appreciate your listening or queuing in tonight, and we really like the chance to serve you and to share with you what we think is one of the most amazing companies in the world, and we think everyone should enjoy it and embrace as much as they can from this. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jim and Trudy and Ann and Diana and Barb.
And Randy.
Yeah,
yes, and Randy. Thank you so much. And I see we have 58 callers or so on the line, which is really a good turnout.
Right. So
any questions out there? Any questions? Well, while you guys are thinking about it, I'll make one more comment. Chin told us, he said the author of The Godfather, a very famous movie and book, he said the author wrote that in their part-time, in their spare time. Give us a few analogies of huge things that were done in someone's part-time. So he said there's always ways of sharing Sunrider and building the business part-time.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Very true.
I know. Well, I mean, when I was building Sunrider business, I was a single parent, working 40 to 50 hours a week, and taking kids everywhere that I could, taking my children everywhere. And I still put in 10, 15, 20 hours and got it started. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful for Jim and for Trudy for sharing with me and helping me create this lifestyle and business and be able to share these wonderful products.
And does somebody want to comment on the new bonus, the business bonus?
Oh,
yeah. $20,000,
Ooh, that's exciting.
Bonus.
That's exciting.
Barb, you talk about that.
I'm going for it.
Okay.
So if you become a group business leader, then Dr. Chen will give you a $10,000 bonus. If you become a silver or gold master, Jim, I got that right?
Golden Group
master.
business leader, just like group business leader.
Okay. Anyways, if
bonus there.
you get $20,000 for that, and
that's for master. For master business leader, you get $20,000.
Okay, and then and plus 3 nights stay in Dr. Chen's hotel, either in LA or the one in London. So expense paid trip over there, and you get to stay for 3 nights, 3 days free. And if you become an executive master, you get $30,000 plus a 5 nights stay over in one of his hotels, LA or London, and of course airlines paid, flight paid, and all that. So it's a great incentive.
Wonderful.
So Barb's going for executive.
You betcha.
Right.
Why not?
Exactly.
We'll all meet in London.
That would be
we'll
fabulous. We would have a great time. We can have tea with the Queen.
Any other questions? Someone asked about that, so that was a good question. Okay, well, I just thank everyone again. Unless you have a question, we're going to be leaving pretty soon.
Randy, does anybody want to share their travel incentive profit sharing check for going to the convention?
Tricia, you mean to share the actual money with us?
No!
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Nice one. Good one, Diana. Yeah, no, it was great. I think we got a little over $3,400, and Barb, you got even a bigger piece of the pie.
Well, just with the TIF check, I got TIF, but then I also got profit sharing.
Yeah.
So
well done, everybody.
That was a good check.
Cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Cool.
Great.
Okay.
Any other questions? I like the idea of sharing.
Well, I just got profit sharing. I don't get TIF at group business leader. I only get profit sharing. But I kept giving Barb a hard time because her check was bigger than mine. And she said, "Oh yeah, Jim, but your check every month is way bigger than mine." So, but my profit sharing was about almost $1,900, so it was good.
Yeah, it was definitely worth going.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? It's Dr. Chen's way of thanking us for our hard work and dedication and commitment and consistency of sharing Sunrider with everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, we're so fortunate. Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Good night. Bye-bye.